Hello, my name is Michael Stavrinides, and I'd like to share with you today my insights and thoughts on the awakening process. Many people have heard the word awakening, people are wakening up, society's wakening up. But what does it really mean? And what does it really mean to you also? So, as with many things, people hear things, they think they understand it, and they do understand it to a certain level, but I'd like to share with you my thoughts on this. First of all, there's many levels of awakening. It's very important to understand this. You don't just awaken to everything. There's many levels, there's stages. One level that we've all experienced over the last few years has been the financial crisis, which started in Europe and in Cyprus, where we are now, from 2008. This was a big awakening, which was something that affected most people on different levels. But it awakened us to see what was happening with the world, to see what was happening with the way the world was run through the governments, the banking system, how much corruption was out there, the way we were being treated as, like sheep, like people who were just like blind and just going with the process without saying anything, without being given any information, only the information they wanted us to hear. Now, what do we mean by this? We saw lots of people getting exposed, lots of systems being exposed, especially with the banking systems, how they were not regulated. And here in Cyprus, we experienced not just a financial crisis, but a massive banking crisis, which made a massive impact on the people, and it helped people to see things from a different perspective. They realised that nothing is guaranteed, nothing is secure. This is an illusion. The only thing that we can guarantee is change. Change is the only constant in the universe, in our lives. Change is happening all the time. We may think we have security, but the only true security is within ourselves. We'll go on that, we'll talk a little bit about that later. But for now, let's carry on with this. What happened in 2008 and onwards in Cyprus? People noticed that their neighbours didn't have any money, didn't have food, some of them. They were really struggling, no jobs. And it wasn't by any fault of their own, it was just what was going on. So it was a wonderful experience for many, because they reached deep down and found compassion. And they helped their neighbours. They saw them struggling. They helped them with food, with support, with many things. People opened food banks in Cyprus. And this is very common throughout the rest of the world, but in Cyprus it was never heard of this before. If you wanted a job, there was always a job. If you wanted to make money, you could always make money. And this was a big eye-opener for people, because it's something which I believe people got carried away with the way things were going, because before 2008 we were in quite a high boom. Properties were selling at a high price, people were making quite a lot of money, and people were losing track of the real things. And I think this brought us back into a kind of reality which showed that people matter, and we should support and help each other. Now, one other thing with the awakening process, and this I feel is something which is very, very important, because many people, when they awaken to a certain level, remember we talked about those levels before, they tend to feel that because they've awakened to a certain level, that they're quite judgmental to those that haven't awakened, or may have awakened but on a different level, to a different thing. And we see this on a day-to-day basis. And what we have to remember is, just because we may have awakened on a certain level doesn't make us any more important or special, or puts us higher than other people. This is a time not to judge others. Not to judge others who have awakened on different levels, or to those that haven't awakened yet. Because remember, there's levels. Those who have awakened above us shouldn't judge us because we haven't awakened to their level. So those that have not awakened to our level, we shouldn't judge them either. We should be more kind and compassionate and understanding. Remember that once we were at the stage that they were at, and understand we didn't know any better. What we need to do is help and assist them, not be judgmental. Please be mindful about this. If those who are awakened to a certain level, think about how you approach other people who you, in your heart, you're probably trying to help them and assist them, but sometimes you can be very judgmental. And we can all be doing this, but we have to be mindful not to, because it actually pushes them away. Now, what do I mean about different types of awakening? As we spoke about before, we spoke about the banking crisis, the financial crisis, which awakened people to what was going on in the world. But bear one thing in mind, when I say going on in the world, I believe there's a lot more going on than what we've actually been shown or allowed to see. But that's, again, for another time. Now, what I mean by different types of awakening as well as this was, some people awaken up to becoming a vegan or a vegetarian. Some people waken up to feel the hunger and the drive to reach enlightenment, to keep continuously developing themselves to reach an enlightened state. Others, they awaken to, how can we say, to want to find a life purpose, to serve others, to be of service. These are all connected, really, but the thing is, what we want to say and stress here is the different types. There's many. I've just covered 3, I think, at the moment, or 4. Many. And what we have to remember is, when we awaken, we feel wonderful. We feel this kind of, the blinkers are taken off our eyes, and we see so much, and it makes so much sense, and we see the right and wrong in what we've awakened to. But remember, there's many types of awakening. We have much more work and much more process to go through to be enlightened. So we have to be kind and compassionate to those that haven't, or understanding to those that have awakened in different ways, different to ours, and not judge them. Work with them. We can't force the awakening process. We can only assist it. Now, on that level, I would like to say one thing about enlightenment. Something that most of you will find quite interesting. We are all already enlightened. Yes, you heard what I said. We are all already enlightened. What do I mean by this? What I mean is, all the answers we have are inside ourselves. Everything we need to know is inside ourselves. We already know it. So we are already enlightened. The difference is, we have to strip away the social conditioning, all our belief systems. We have to dissolve our fears by facing our fears. by doing this, it's like peeling away the layers of an onion. As we peel away these social conditionings, these belief systems, we face our fears, and so they dissolve. And many other things similar to this. As we peel away, we reach our true self. We then realise and reveal that we are truly enlightened. And we realise our true self, our true state, which is enlightenment. We're just bogged down at the moment with all the, like I said, social conditionings, belief systems, fear. Society's built on fear. It's to keep us pushed down, to keep us in a state of constant disarray, constant confusion, a state of fear all the time. So we're so busy trying to protect ourselves and trying to get ourselves into a comfy position, we don't realise that we are already enlightened. And what we're doing is actually counterproductive. By adding more fear and stress to ourselves, we're actually clouding our true state and making it more difficult for ourselves to awaken, if you want to say, our enlightenment, to peel away, keep peeling away these layers. Now, I hope that this has been insightful for you. I hope I've been able to explain it the best way I can, because I have, as all of us do, we have these ideas in our head, but sometimes to describe them is a little bit more complicated. I hope I've helped you, and if there's any things that you need to know, you can either contact us or comment below. Remember, we're based in Paphos, Cyprus, at the Natural Healing and Wellness Centre. We run YouTube channels, Explore Life with Michael and Leonora. Also, we have a YouTube channel for the Natural Healing and Wellness Centre. We're based, like I said, in Paphos on the Tomb of the Kings Road, 200 metres from the Paphos Mall. You can find us in the description below with Google Maps. You can check our reviews out. And, you know, like I said, be mindful about not to judge others who are awakened or who have not yet awakened. Thank you. Blessings to you all.